Hey everyone, welcome back. We are here to do today's flyover of the Nikola site in Coolidge, Arizona. This is our 228th flyover. It's a lot of flying, a lot of miles put in on the drones, but we're here doing it. So I see we got a bunch of people on already. I was a minute late. Sorry. Um, but I see we got a lot of people in the chat already. People from Norway, people that are just around Trevor million, about 3 million. I don't care about Trevor. All right, guys, we're going to get, since we got a decent amount of people on right away, we're going to get started almost right away. I'm not going to just BS around. We are going to quickly recap the stock price like we always do and see how good or bad of a day it was. So the day was mostly bad. It was down for quite a while. But the stock came back. It was even and down and just making me sweat because I didn't like to see that. Anyway, nickel closed at 517, up 11 cents, got up to 524 and was as low as 5. So not a lot of movement. There were some other movers out there today that had a lot more movement, but we won't get in there. Marcel from Germany. And Javier wants to know, when is Trevor Milton's trial? I don't care. Really don't. But Changing Frame says it's September 12th. Who knows what's going to happen with that? Whatever. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm more worried about semi-trucks and not the drama. So that's my take on it. And we're going to go to the video. We had a lot of action today at the Nikola site as far as a lot of trucks out there, a lot of them driving around being tested. So quite a lot of things going on. Can't say like what they were testing or anything like that, but there was a lot to see as far as trucks and movements. I know we've got some more trucks. We saw a VIN number that was, I think, 5 numbers higher than our last visit. So that's a good thing. The higher the VIN numbers, the better. And we're just going to obviously do our quick recap for those of you who haven't seen this before for some reason. Next Monday, big day for old Trevor boy. I'm going to be out of town and I'm not going to be able to actually access much of this news, but we'll see what comes up. You will care when that takes place and price action goes down to $3. Yeah, I don't think so. I think if he's convicted and he's sentenced, I don't think it's going to have a more than a few days effect on Nikola. Everybody kind of thinks he's guilty already. So anyway, we got a truck coming in from the north there. We got one on the test track right there, just doing circles, and as we get closer we can see that is the fuel cell truck. That is the one that was painted with the pink cancer ribbons, and he is just out there doing some circles, and we're going to watch him go in circles. You can see the generators back there, another truck parked back there, a couple charging stations. And you can see this thing has a decent amount of pickup. He's going at a decent clip, doing some circles. He's kicking up some dust. You can see that lean that he's got going into that turn there. Depress says much of Trevor case impact is already factored into the stock price. It is, and that's the reason why it is where it is. If it wasn't for the whole Trevor drama, I believe that it would be definitely a few dollars higher than what it is. And there we can see a nice close-up of the FCEV. This was not the first one to come out, but I forget which one down the line it was, but it came out last year, I think in November, for the cancer awareness. and they got it all painted up, and they use this as a test truck. This is an alpha truck. But yeah, he was doing some wide donuts in there, but he was moving. And just so you know, these FCEV trucks are going to be produced on the same line as the BEVs, so they can have a BEV coming down the line, and the next truck can be a fuel cell, and they're going to be on the same exact line, just a different configuration. See, he made a backwards S in there on the ground with his tire tracks. So there's a nice shot of the entire factory. On the left-hand side is where phase 2 is going. On the top right, you can see a line of trucks over there. There are quite a few trucks over there, and we were hoping that he would start driving some more. But he never took off again. So it's time for us to go on our way. But that is a nice looking truck. Is anyone but, except for Javier, concerned about the Trevor Milton trial? Just curious. Put your comments in the comments. Here we got another truck coming out doing some more testing, driving them around. There's just a lot of trucks driving around today doing their thing. Is JJ not on today? Kind of miss him. All right. So we do see that the test loop, if you look, has got its markings in a lot of the areas, even though they're not using it yet, but you can see that they have been marked. And we were just chasing this truck to see how they're doing on speed. Tyler says, I'm more concerned about why Nikola has almost 0 PR. Hey, well, don't forget about me. Not that I'm with Nikola. I'm not an employee and get no compensation. Hey, Bear, what about the building? It's supposed to be finished by Q1 2023, but I don't see anything moving there. Delays? Nope, you're kind of just making something up. The building, if you're talking about the building expansion, the concrete is setting, and that's completely normal after you dig your footings to let them set. And sometimes you can go anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks depending on the weight that you're putting on it. So no, there's not a delay there. It's exactly what's supposed to be going on. William says he's a crook and it's not something new. Oh, JJ just showed up. Are you going to Ulm Bear? No, next week I from Thursday to the following Saturday I have to go do my work release. Got to go back to jail. Let's see if I can visit Trevor. Maybe get the inside scoop. You know, those work releases, they're kind of difficult to deal with in your schedule sometimes. So I won't be around, but we're still going to get the flyovers done. The range on those 500 miles, right? It will compete with Tesla semis. H2 refueling infrastructure will be a problem for adoption. Yes, the range is going to be 500, and in the future they're going to be shooting for 900, I believe, 700 or 900 with the larger Nikola 2. Let's see. So you really think we'll be done by Q1 2023? That section of the building, if that's what we're talking about, yeah, absolutely. I don't really have any doubts. You say Q1 2023 like you're talking about January 1st, but no, they've got 6 months and 23 days. So I don't see that as a problem to just build that section out. So once they start building, steel can go up relatively fast. They probably won't. They have a deadline of next quarter, so they're actually not in a rush. I would say that they're ahead. Infrastructure will be a problem for EV semis as well. You can't simply use passenger cars charging stations from them. That is true. It takes a lot to get these things charged up. Mega chargers. Let's see. We got our frames laying there. I think I counted 36 over there. And the cab count, I did a cab count just to pass some time while I was waiting for you guys to start, and it was 167. And Det Prez, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Det Prez says, thanks, Bear. Hit that like button, everyone. This is my favorite live stream. Okay. I don't think you get out much, but that's okay. I appreciate that. Is it more expensive Tesla Semi or Nikola BEV? Well, the Tesla Semi was a sandbag price, so we're going to have to wait and see what the the Tesla Semi is actually priced at, because it's going to be impossible for them to sell at $150,000 and make a profit. Not only would they lose money, but for every Semi that they build, they can't make 7 Model Ys. And those are all profitable 30%. So do the math, that's $18,000 per vehicle. That's 7 times 18. That's a lot. For every Semi that they lose money on the Semi, plus they would lose the 7 Model Ys that they could build. So I don't know. We're just waiting to see what the correct price is going to be. So here we are backing out of the view, and we can see a good view of it. And then coming up on the right, what Javier is talking about, he doesn't think this section on the top right is going to be built in 6.5 months. Will Nikola 2 be built on the same line as well? That is a good question. I don't know the answer to that, but it's very possible it will not be. This whole section on the top right here, this factory layout like this is actually going to be duplicated but flipped that way, and sitting in that area, because they've got all this land here, and that is on their agenda. That is further phases. Olivia saw an article saying Lucid and Nikola are not going to survive and need cash. Canceled. Bloomberg. Okay. Nikola is not in a cash crunch right now. They have 1 year's worth of cash supply. So they are just trying to keep 1 year worth of cash on hand. So they're not in a cash crunch, and neither is Lucid. Lucid had several $billion available at the end of last quarter. So why are they issuing more stock? Because that's their plan. Nikola's plan was to, everybody knew that, we all signed up or voted yes or no for that very recently. So the fact that they're looking for cash is not surprising. So I don't know why this is even a story. They're just following through with what they said that they were going to be doing. As far as Lucid, their stock share, that's a shelf stock, and that is going to be sitting there for 3 years with them able to take it off anytime in the next 3 years. Not much of a surprise there either, because they are going to need more cash. Articles like that are clickbait, and they just want you to click on the article, to run an ad, and it doesn't matter what the content says. Will Nikola be able to use Tesla's charging network? That is up to Tesla and whether they will open it up. They're still working on opening it up to cars, and I think that would be a bigger concern. And I don't know. Depends on how they feel about wanting to share the road. And Daniel de Blasio says Nikola and Lucid have plenty of cash. They do. And I will say Lucid's going through that cash a lot quicker than Nikola is. But Nikola is building trucks and getting closer to their promise. Dit Press says those considered pretty short-sighted. Why would a perfectly useful truck be tossed in the landfill? Oh, he's talking about the Flint Creek video, and well, you know, it's just a lot of FUD going on. There always will be. Okay, here we are just circling around, looking at the test loop and the back end of all those trucks. They've got a lot sitting there. Right now, it's looking like it's going to be very similar to what happened at the end of last quarter. Where in the week coming up to the end of the last quarter, there was a big row of trucks like that, and then right before the quarter ended, they all got delivered. So we are in the last month of the quarter. September is the last month. So are they going to just keep stacking up trucks, and then when we come up to the end of the month, they're all going to suddenly disappear? So we'll see what happens. Here we get a better look at the test loop, and if you look at the test loop, you can see the markings that they've now drawn onto it. So 2 lanes, guardrail. They got the white markers on the outside. So that is, I don't know when they're going to start using it, but it's got to be soon. Penny, the answer to your question is 0. Penny, so what percentage of Nikola truck sales next year do you think will be FCEVs? I don't think the FCEVs will be on sale next year. I think we're going to continue prototyping and alpha, beta, and then testing through next year, and then sales will begin in 2024. And Daniel's right. Tesla producing a Semi is not their priority right now. I have a feeling we're going to see a couple pop out maybe this year, just to say that they made some, but I think they're still going to hold off. They want to ramp up their 4680 production for the Model Y for Giga Texas before they start putting out the semi trucks. So you guys got any questions? Throw them up in the chat, please. For anyone that's new here, get them up there. If you have seen something that you don't know what it is, say something, and I will explain it. Let's see here. I'm just going back through the chat, making sure I didn't miss anything. So there we got a couple trucks running around there. I did restart the video. JP said, have I been increasing my position of Nikola? Last they recall was 8K. I do have more than 8K, but I'm not increasing my position right now. Just don't have the cash on hand to do that. Not too many trucks. How come? I don't know where you're looking, but there's probably 30 or 40 trucks on the other side of the lot. Consumer EVs are Tesla's bread and butter. That is correct. Tesla's not going to make a ton of money on the trucks, even when they price them to be profitable, because they're just not going to sell them in the types of volume that they would sell a Model Y or a Model 3. They're going to produce millions of these cars this year, and if they were going full bore production on the semis, they would still probably only be producing thousands. So why produce them right now when you've got a back order of a year for a Model Y? GG asks, any idea why they haven't started lifting columns in place yet for phase 2? Crane has been in place for a couple weeks now. I believe they're just waiting for everything to set. They have to wait for that concrete to set, and for whatever reason, it's not ready yet. That would be the only reason, because the beams are there, the columns are there, the crane is there, and there's no other reason not to get started on that, except for the concrete is still setting. So it's just kind of normal stuff. you have to wait before you can actually do that. Anybody know something about the equipment from Nell? We haven't heard much about it. All we know is that it's been shipped to Arizona. That was like a month or two ago. And there was quite a few pieces of equipment. We don't know where it went. And we haven't seen it. And Nikola has not announced it. So we're just kind of sitting back waiting to hear some news on that. For that guy who said there's no trucks, they're over here. They're white. They have wheels on them. Glass up front. Looks like a truck. Nikola has said for the third quarter that they were going... Okay, Nikola has said that they are going to produce 60 to 75 semis this quarter. So they have until the end of this quarter to produce 60 trucks. Now, how many they produce right now? I couldn't tell you, but I can tell you that they are producing trucks. And all I want to see is them on their stick to their commitments of the 60 to 75. If they can do that, they're doing the right thing. The market is happy with them saying 60 to 75 trucks this quarter. Next quarter, I think they promised, they promised to make it 300 to 500 trucks. So in order to get 300 to 500 trucks, if they want to get 300, they had 48 trucks in the first quarter. If they have 60 in the second quarter, that would be 108. If they get to 108, that means they needed to create 192 trucks. Am I getting this right? 48 second quarter, 60, 108. Okay, so they need 192 trucks in the last quarter. So in order to do that, that's about 12 or 13 weeks. They need to do 16 trucks a week starting October 1st. And they believe, they put out something that said that they're going to be able to do 5 trucks a day starting around November 1st, approximately. Liam wants to know why Nikola's been relatively quiet over the last couple of months compared to last year. I don't know why they haven't made any big announcements. I know that they have signed on other companies. They have sold trucks to other places. And why they haven't made those announcements, I'm not sure. I know that after the California initiative for the 130,000 per truck or whatever the number was, I know that they got orders. I am 100% sure that they got orders, and they haven't announced any of them. So, can't tell you positive, but they're just holding back for some reason. BEVs are better for ports and short trips. Fuel cells are for cross country, which will be good for steep hills because diesel, they are so slow going up. Someone broke down on a hill. I've seen more than one broke down on the hill. There's our cabs, 167 of them, plus all the other parts that you see in the bottom left zipping by as we fly over it. And I believe the beta FCEV will be announced at the shown at the IAA presentation, or in Europe, or whichever one that one is. Okay, Ogden's still holding 15,000 at $14 a share. That's a lot. All right, there's our frames. As I said earlier, there's about 36 there. And when we're done with going through this, we're probably going to end the stream. So if you guys got anything, let it out, let it rip, and we will chat about it. I don't believe there's going to be a Lucid live stream this week, but we will have a Lucid video out later today, and probably about an hour or so. Tyler, I don't know the names of the buyers, of the ones for California. All I know is that it did happen. I don't know if it was one buyer or if it was 100 buyers, but I know that there were orders placed and there were orders secured. But that's pretty much all the information I have. And Tom asked, have I heard anything about the test drives at Walmart? Have not heard a thing. And even when these test drives are over, it seems that we don't hear much from it either. So once this section of the building is done, that will complete this building right here. And the next phase is to go across into this field over here. And that's where the next building will be going. Josu says the Lucid GT is 5,200 pounds. We were talking about that yesterday. I guess that's the answer from yesterday. Kroger and Whole Foods probably will order BEVs at some point. I just don't know when. What do we think of the new CEO? Is he going to raise the company so we can all see a better light? That would be nice. I understand Nikola's hesitancy to start announcing things and putting things out there because Trevor put them in a bit of a jam by overpromising, and they don't want to appear to do that again. Also, it's maybe they're just keeping quiet until after the trial. But if that keeps getting delayed, then eventually they've got to come out with something. A-Track. I bought 18 shares of Nikola just to make your videos about Nikola interesting to me. Okay. It's a start. You can build on that. Olivia, I'm just not sure. I think that they would probably use them both. It just depends on the on what the needs are. And if you need long distances, you got to go with the fuel cell. Short distances, those batteries will work all day long. This is where the future hydrogen area is going to be, so possibly. William says, does Nikola have any big orders? They have an order for 800 trucks from Anheuser-Busch. Those are all fuel cells. They have reservations for 14,000 fuel cell trucks. So that is what they originally took. Whether or not all those reservations are still good, probably not, but it's also possible people have added on to that. If Amazon orders are going to get the FCEVs because of the long hauls, yeah. If you ever travel across country, you will see truck after truck after truck of Amazon just pulling stuff long haul in it, and that would definitely need to be hydrogen fuel cell. 1, 2, 3 vouchers for Nikola from California program. 123 vouchers per the website map filter for Nikola. Okay, so the number is out there. Yes, like I said, I don't know if it's 100. It is. I was told it was over 100. So Torstein says 134 for California. So let's just say it's somewhere in that range. The Anheuser-Busch orders supposedly are for the fuel cell, but it could end up being for both. It's hard to say. And Wegmans has an LOI for 50. Any word on fueling stations? Seems like the next step. It is the next step. They're supposed to announce where the station was going to be in Arizona, but we have yet to hear that. So, Mark, Russell, if you're listening, could you please at least tell us that? So, we'll have to see what happens. There's a guy named Michael Morick or something close to that claims he has 500,000 shares. Wonder why he never joins. He was very vocal about voting no for Proposal 2. Yeah, he doesn't want to lose his votes. He's going to dilute his votes. But the money's important. It's important to be in there. So, all right, guys, we're going to wrap this up at this point. Told you we were going to wrap it up when I was done with playing it for the second time. So we're going to have the Lucid video a little bit later. Please don't forget to hit that like button. I want to thank you guys for being here, and our next live stream actually may not be for a while, but we will have, once I get released, I'll get right on this. So we'll be back soon, but we will still have some flyovers for you, so don't worry about that. If you guys got any more comments or questions, go ahead and throw them into the chat. That will stay open for a little bit, and you guys can keep talking. And if there's anything directed at me, I will answer it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.